What's up, everybody? Tomorrow we get Season 2 of Black Ops 6 and Warzone, something that feels like it has taken forever to get to. And today, of course, the patch notes came out. I'm so glad they're doing them day ahead instead of day of. And so we're going to go ahead and look at everything. I'll put the Black Ops 6 patch notes down below. If you want to check that out, that link will be there, as well as these. And so will my Twitch, and I'll be live tomorrow night to be playing the new update with breakfast and the usual squad. So that's exciting. Like I said, we're going to skip the Black Ops 6 multiplayer and zombie stuff, and we're just going to look at Warzone stuff. There's not a whole lot of content, as we've talked about before. Call of Duty put out a community update saying that the focus of this season, at least for this first update of the season, is going to be just on making the game a better experience as opposed to giving us more content. And I don't know about you, but I would rather have a good game than have a bad game with more content. But I'll link the community update, my video about it down below, as well as the content update, the blog post, and my videos linked down below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run through this. And while I start to scroll down some, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you like this type of content and want to see it first, and comment down below at the end of the video what you think of the patch notes today. I'm pretty happy considering that things should be fixed. So they give a ricochet anti-cheat. They just say that they're upgrading it, giving it better tools, blah, blah, blah. We'll see if it actually works. I'm not holding out hope. Events, don't care. We're getting a Terminator event, Shadow Hunt event, whatever. The fact that these events stop on February 20th, that's probably about your mid-season point. And so we're looking at 24, so 24 days, 48-day season, so about 7 weeks until the next season. It's not horrible. Although Battle Pass, there's just 7 days left. I don't know about that. Because seven might be 8 weeks. Might be an 8 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. Progression and prestige stuff. Not too worried about that. A lot of people don't even prestige, especially just Warzone players. Camos, you can now unlock special camo. You can now equip unlock special camos to weapons as soon as they've unlocked 5 military camos instead of all 9. Okay. Don't care about challenge progress. Don't care about this stuff. If you want to read social stuff, feel free to check that out for yourself. Looking at Warzone stuff, Urzikstan buy station locations have been updated across Urzikstan. This is not something that different. Ever since Al Mazrah, they've updated buy station locations every season to try to keep things fresh. Gulag loadouts refresh with new weapons and equipment, another thing that they do every new season. Train, the automatic brake release timer, so when you stop the train, it starts moving in after 60 seconds. That's now going to be 240 seconds or 4 minutes instead of 1. Area 99 got 2 additional buy stations, which they needed. Urzikstan probably needs an extra buy station or 2. Playlist, January 28th through February 20th, we are getting so that means no LTMs, which is part of the no content thing. And no trios for no trios for Battle Royale is insane. Resurgence, all sizes for Rebirth, quads for Area 99, and then Plunder quads. No trios for BR is insane. Ranked play stuff, I'm going to skip that. A lot of people don't play ranked. The big thing to note is consoles can go to console crossplay only, so it's only Xbox and PlayStation and no PC players. That's big for the console players because cheaters really are on PC, except for like Cronus users. Or was the other one Zim or something like that. Tracker perks removed from ranked play, more skill stuff. If you want to read this, like I said, this will be all linked down below if you want to check it out for yourself. Sorry, I keep looking over there because the camera's over here. It was over here. Keep wanting to make sure audio's good because mic's over here. Stuff's in the background's different. Transition period for the setup. Anyways, rewards, general stuff. Buy stations. All buy stations, including deployable and standard ones, now closed at the beginning of the final circle announcement. So, we get the shifting circles, then you get the one final circle that just shrinks. Buy stations will be closed then. Deployable boxes, utility boxes such as munition boxes, armor boxes, and others can no longer be placed in the gas. That's for people spamming stims and stuff. Score events, add a new splat score event in Battle Royale, which triggers when a player is eliminated while parachuting or skydiving. So think of like the medals, like 1 shot, 1 kill, stuff like that. BR, player XP went up 7%, weapon XP went up 10%, Resurgence player XP decreased 8%, weapon XP increased 10%, Plunder player XP increased by 22%, weapon XP decreased by 13%. Okay. Quality of life highlights, advanced UAVs now display elevation arrows to indicate player altitude. Warzone barracks, the button layout in the Warzone barracks is being reorganized to match the structure used in multiplayer and zombies. Ammo caches, ammo cache depots now function like munition boxes, dropping additional ammo and equipment on the ground There's never additional ammo. It just fills up your ammo, which I wonder if that was a bug that they're just not mentioning. I read through the bug fixes at the bottom really quick before making this. They don't mention it. Pinging buyback flare. So anytime a flare, and like the big red flare that shoots up out of buy stations when you buy back, or use redeploy flares, I'm assuming, you can now ping those. So you don't. So I just yell, that buy over there. Now I can just ping it instead of trying to yell out that someone bought back, opening my map, pinging the buy, being like, oh, that's not the right buy. If you've watched my stream, that is a common occurrence. Now I can just ping the flare itself. Match stat trackers. The font used in match stat trackers has now been adjusted for improved readability. Detailed weapon stats. New stats have been added, and the layout has been redesigned to prioritize data clarity and accessibility. Fade distance. The fade distance for loadout and cash drop crates while parachuting has been reduced to 300 meters for improved visibility. Combat. Body shield victims no longer automatically released mid-air. The outline of the victim previously visible through walls has been disabled. Players can no longer release a victim without executing them first. Movement. Jumping. Increase both speed and successive jump height with one unmodified successive jump. As I mentioned in my previous videos talking about this with the community update and stuff, this sounds like bunny hopping is slowly returning. And then you read, we're reverting some jump penalties to the values used last year. This marks the first step in our jump evaluation, and we'll visit this topic again in the future. So it sounds like the more we complain about wanting bunny hopping back, the more likely we are to get it back. So if you like bunny hopping, please keep complaining. We will be getting it back eventually. Then we have parachute. Changes. Increase the speed of parachute cut animation, making cutting a parachute and readying your weapon significantly faster. So that's like you take a redeploy, you go, these people are on the roof at Dome, you go land on Dome and you can chow these people better. Instead of landing, be like, all right, let me take my time, take my weapon out, and then you get blasted. Parachute. Also increase player velocity when landing from a cut parachute land for smoother transition into full sprint. The recovery time after landing from a parachute is often felt overly punishing both players trying to evade and those looking to engage. This adjustment aims to make the action more fluid and balanced and preventing it from feeling overly restrictive. Perks. New reactive armor perk slot. Your armor will regenerate up to 50% if you have not taken damage in the last 5 seconds. Available via event reward. Adjustments. Tracker. Pings have been replaced with an outline that is not visible through walls but will still appear on targets through smoke. Tracker can now ping up to 5 targets simultaneously. Engaging a 6th target will remove the outline from the first target. If you were shooting 5 people and then a 6th without knocking or fulling any of them, that's a pings have been replaced with an outline that is not visible through walls. So they've nerfed tracker some, which is good. And spy camera and proxy alarms have also been adjusted for these, but we'll talk about that more when we get to it. Dexterity, the weapon handling component. So less like weapon bob when you're jumping, sliding, and diving is now going to be has been enhanced, and it's now default. So you just have it. It's just part of your operator. And now dexterity's gone, and we're getting Mountaineer back. But they said fall damage reduction has been significantly improved compared to the current version with the dexterity, though it's not as powerful as the iteration of Modern Warfare 3. So I think Modern Warfare 3 was like 21 meters without dying and like 14 without fall stun. I'm guessing this will be like 10 to 12 without fall stun and like, I don't know, 15 to 18 somewhere in there without dying, I would guess, because it says significantly, but not as powerful. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do some testing on that. Definitely going to do a updated perk video. Of course, we'll do the updated meta videos as well, but keep an eye out for those videos. Hit that notification bell. Mike's over here, camera's over here. That's why I'm like this. Veteran now provides significant damage reduction against the effects of gas grenades. Equipment munition satchel now only provides 1 additional item down from 2. So instead of being able to carry like 3 frag grenade or 4 frag grenades, you can carry 3 now. Tacticals and lethals. Maximum deployed tacticals and lethals reduced to 2 down from 3. So you couldn't place like 3 blast traps. Now it's just 2. Impact grenade, their stack size went to 2 from 3, and with their munition satchel, they will now be at 4 total impact grenades. And it says that they occupy a unique niche between Semtex and frag grenades. A direct hit significantly boosts its damage while also bypassing some of the mitigation provided by Bomb Squad, making it a more skill-based option. We've made the choice to retain its max stack size at 4 due to it underperforming quite significantly in metrics previously. Perhaps this makes it more impactful. Ha ha ha. I love impact grenades because there's not a real counter to them. I mean, it even says that they bypass some of the mitigation from Bomb Squad. They explode on impacts. They're better for vert nades. They're better for window nades. Because people can't run away. A frag, you have to cook perfectly to get that advantage. And Semtexes don't have that advantage. So that's why I use impacts. And I still think they're the best. Lethal. Thermobaric inner radius increased, inner damage increased, and outer damage increased. Big buff to thermobarics. Thermobarics are another grenade that you get a warning for. But they've been adjusted to improve its usability by increasing the inner radius, making it easier to deal higher damage. The slight damage boost complements this change. Frag grenade inner damage decreased, middle damage decreased, and outer damage increased. Sorry, cardboard. Your favorite lethal always gets nerfed. Let's see. Frag grenades are a staple in combat, known for their reliability. Following adjustments in Black Ops 6, they become easier to use. These changes aim to align damage output with their ease of use, and we will continue to monitor their effectiveness. Experimental gas grenades slightly increase the trigger height of the gas effects to better match visuals. Movement reduction from gas decreased without resistance, which is the perk, which is capitalized actually, from 60 to 50%, and with resistance from 60 to 25%. Gas damage against resistant targets reduced from 8 to 5. Stim shot, strafe slide velocity with stim slightly reduced, so a small nerf to stims, but I don't think a lot of people are too worried about the left and right sliding as much as they are like the straight line speed. Spy camera update outline visual no longer displays through walls, which we mentioned already. Effect duration increased from 7 seconds to 10 seconds, so a rebalance, not really a nerf or a buff. Proxy alarms updated the outline visual for better clarity. Kill streaks advanced UAVs now display elevation arrows. Bunker buster gas damage with gas resistance has been reduced from 8 to 5. Upgrades, loadout drop marker. The bounce factor for the loadout drop marker has been reduced by 50%. That's good for Scribbles because he always has bad loadout throws. Decontamination station. The ability to re-enable closed buy stations by placing a decon station nearby has been removed. I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know if I almost never picked them up. So reload speeds increased from 5 to 20% faster. If you look at Modern Warfare 3, ARs 15%, marksman 5%. SMGs 10%, sniper rifles 12%, handguns 5%, battle rifles 10%, MW2, ARs 12%, marksman 10%, LMGs 15%. I just noticed the Modern Warfare 3 LMGs did not get. So SMGs 22% faster, snipers 15% faster, handguns 5%, BRs 10%. Black Ops 6, ARs 5%, marksman rifles 5%, LMGs 10%, submachine guns 10%, sniper rifles 10%, handguns 5%, and reload speeds for flip and fast mag attachments have increased by additional 5%. This was a needed change. The reloads were so slow, and this is definitely a needed change. Bullet penetration across most materials, resulting in a more consistent experience for thicker walls in particular, has been adjusted. Everything on this map's been wall bangable pretty much, and except for like loadout drops, and it's so good that they're adjusting that because there was like no real cover. Weapon swap increased swap speed by 10%, replicating the effect of quick grip gloves from Modern Warfare. Sprint to fire, reduce sprint to fire penalty when jumping. Aim down sight, reduce the aim down sight jump speed penalty. New weapons, we're getting the PPSH, fast fire rate, and high recoil. Lots of damage. We'll see if this thing is just a solos weapon with its fast fire rate or if it's truly good. The Cypher 91 assault rifle, full auto assault rifle, slow rate of fire, balanced by great handling and excellent mobility. They also mentioned in the community update that it has faster reload, so I'm thinking this is more of a sniper support AR. It kind of looks like the Groza, honestly, from this view. And the Groza was never great, but it was a decent sniper support. Fang 82 LMG, full auto light machine gun, very slow rate of fire with great damage and handling, and a 30-round mag on an LMG, which is insane. The TR2, it's the FAL returning. Semi-auto marksman rifle, great rate of fire and respectable handling, earned via event reward. So now what we're really looking for, the weapon adjustments. The AK at its maximum, medium, and minimum damage ranges all had the ranges increased. The minimum damage range increase is just funny because it's only because the medium damage range increased because the minimum damage range is in. Additional changes to the AK is the aim down sight speed improved, sprint to fire time improved, and lower torso multiplier increased. We'll get to the XM4, which did get nerfed. I don't know if the AK will take over, but the increased ranges, the better ADS, the better sprint to fire, and the lower torso multiplier are definitely going to help the AK, which has felt like okay. It hasn't felt awesome. The aims, the leg multiplier increased from 0.9 to 0.95. The headshot multiplier increased from 1.1 to 1.15. Default magazine, this is AS Val. Default magazine reload speed is 5% faster. The AS Val needs a lot more than faster reload. Goblin MK2, which, is this the right picture? I don't think that's the right picture. That is definitely not the Goblin. That's the, oh my god, what's the AR that we got? The Krig. That is 100% the Krig's picture. Call of Duty always has mistakes in their blog post. The medium damage range and the minimum damage range were increased. So your middle range and your far range, and then the middle range damage was also increased. If that's actually supposed to be for the goblin, it's not going to matter. People aren't going to use the. It's single fire. Bullet velocity increased. Default magazine and flip magazine clip size increased. Lower arm and hand modifiers increased. The GPR, something that I thought would just slide right back into the meta when the XM4 gets nerfed. It had all of its ranges nerfed. Its aim down sight speed slowed, its sprint to fire time slowed, and leg multipliers decreased. So that's probably them knowing that this was, because this was meta before the buffer stock came out, and this is probably them knowing this will slide right back into the meta, and they don't want it to go right back to the GPR. They're looking for something new to take over. So we have the Model L. Its maximum and minimum ranges were both increased. No medium range on the Model L, which is really interesting. Additional adjustments, leg multipliers increased. Then we have the XM4 that had all of its damage ranges decreased, and then the minimum damage range, so your long range damage, significantly decreased from 24 to 22. 2 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when you also have to consider multipliers and stuff like that. And so that is 2. I used to not think was a big deal when I first started doing patch notes and loadout videos. 2 is actually a pretty big deal in terms of total damage. Leg multipliers decreased. 100-round magazine aim down sight penalty doubled. Buffer stock horizontal recoil control bonus decreased from 60 to 15%, so it's 25% relative to that 60%. Vertical recoil control bonus decreased from 30 to 18%. Gun kick bonus decreased from 32 to 20%. Those are huge nerfs that made the XM4 go into the meta, despite, like, if you look at the damages with the GPR, 32, 28, 25. 29 versus 38 up close. 28 versus 26 up close. And before the nerf, it was 25 to 24. The GPR was dominant compared to the XM4 and has better damage ranges. Even with its nerf, 36.8 to 34.2, 36.8 to 50.8, and 34.2 to 48.2, and 48.2 plus, and 50.8 plus. The damage ranges are better. The damage is better. And so that's why you see the GPR nerfs, because it was going to slide right back into the meta, and they know that people don't want the same metas over and over again. So I think that's them attempting to make something else the meta, which we will find out, of course, this week. And so then we have the SMGs. The C9 had all of its ranges increased and its medium damage increased. Its first medium damage. Plus, ADS improved, sprint to fire improved, bullet velocity increased, and leg multipliers increased. This thing was actually better than the PP. The PP's been easier to use and has a little better iron sights. That's why people favor it. But the C9 has actually been better. And I could see the C9 sliding into the meta, especially because you look at the Jackal, and the Jackal's damages weren't touched, but its range was touched. And then you go down, and its upper torso and arm multipliers decreased, its lower torso multiplier decreased, and its bullet velocity decreased. So a lot of the multipliers were decreased, the damage was decreased, and it's got more recoil than the C9. The Jackals still could be meta because they didn't touch the actual damage. Though these multipliers going down 0.07 and 0.07 are actually like fairly significant because that's how multiplication works. But the Jackal has more recoil than the PP and the C9, and so these nerfs will maybe take it out of the meta. The other SMGs will certainly contend more. The Compact ADS improved, sprint to fire improved. The Compact is the best solos SMG. People probably still use the Jackal, but Compact for solos and duos is the best SMG. It's got like the best SMG TTK. The KSV, its ranges for max, medium 1, and medium 2 were all nerfed, but damages were left alone. And minimum damage range is left alone. You're not using this thing over 35.5 meters. Additional adjustments, ADS improved, sprint to fire improved, bullet velocity increased. Then we have the PP, whose ranges in the medium 1 and medium 2 were both nerfed. Its headshot multiplier decreased, and its leg shot multiplier decreased. I think the C9 will end up taking the meta after all these nerfs, because the PP and the Jackal were both nerfed. But I could still see, because the PP's got a good headshot multiplier and a decent leg shot multiplier, although these are huge. The leg shot multiplier is a big percentage-wise nerf. I think it'll probably be the Jackal or the C9. Maybe we'll start using the Compact and dealing with the ammo. But the PP and the Jackal definitely got decent nerfs there. Then we have the LMGs. The XMG just had the buffer stock. The horizontal recoil bonus was decreased from 40 to 25. The vertical recoil control bonus was decreased from 25 to 15. And the gun kick bonus was decreased from 25 to 15. We have pistol stuff. the 9mm, the ranges were all buffed. The headshot multiplier increased. Upper, torso, and arm multipliers increased. Extended mag 1 increased. Extended mag 2 increased. Lootable perks now also include Shrouded, Irradiated, wow, Veteran, Reflexes, Sprinter, and Tempered. Lootable weapons, all ground loot weapon builds have been refreshed. Semi-auto rifles, burst rifles, and common through epic handguns have been removed. So no handguns, no semi-auto rifles, no burst rifles. New Season 2 weapons have been added to ground loot pool. So we've all been there. You pick up a rifle expecting it to be automatic, only to discover it's semi-auto or burst when you fire. Well, we work improving, blah, blah, blah. To me, this lowers the skill gap. Part of skill is knowledge of what you're playing. And me looking and picking up, oh, I picked up an AK, I instantly know that's burst. Oh, I picked up a DM10, I instantly know that's semi-auto. And some of that's just literally from the camo grind. But that's an advantage to somebody who's dedicated to the game versus the people who play a few hours a week. That's one of the small differences you can get in it. And when a game has such a low skill gap, I don't like anything that lowers the skill gap or the knowledge gap and makes the game easier. But Warzone's never supposed to be a super ultra competitive high skill BR. And so they're going to always cater to the lower tier of players. And that's what that does. I could rant about that in gaming a lot, but I won't. Intel, completing Intel contracts now has a very low chance to reward a durable gas mask. I don't even ever see durables anymore. I swear they don't actually exist. Signal intelligence, they reduced the total cash based on squad size. You can read those below. It was 7,500 per player, no matter squad size. You can read that below. It's kind of a significant amount. And they were easy contracts to quick spam and get lots of money, but those days are kind of over. Still good money. Scavenger distance between scavenger crates has been reduced, requiring less of a marathon between objectives. The majority of the time, objectives will prioritize remaining within the same point of interest. Thank God. I'm so sick of picking up a scavenger contract, and the first crate's 200 meters away, and then the next crate's 150 meters away, and the next crate's 120 meters away, and it's just this long push away from where you originally grabbed the contract. Runaway Train now has a 10% chance to occur in the 5th circle of Battle Royale. It's one of the worst events by far. Challenges, not too worried about challenges. Vehicles, damage adjustment, C4 and IED damage have been slightly adjusted to ensure greater consistency when destroying vehicles. Post-match XP widget updated. Audio, third-party reverb, reducing reverb effects to improve directionality of movement audio produced by players. Footstep, ascenders, parachutes. Thank God. Literally, last time I played Warzone on Friday, I literally heard nothing but parachute audio on the left, and then on the right I saw the guy landing in. It's crazy. Adjusted parachute audio being louder than intended at farther distances. Self-revive, players will now hear an enemy self-revive. And then we just have bug fixes, which is a lot. The only real notable one is the Ghost perk would resist from pre-match lobby into the match. So if you had Ghost in your loadout when you're in pre-match lobby, and that's the loadout you had active in pre-match lobby, you would have Ghost in the match sometimes. And that's why UAVs won't work. Other than that, there's not a whole lot there. If you want to read through all of these bug fixes, I'm not going to because it is a lot. But feel free, because I'm going to link this down below. But that is our patch notes for Season 2. I am happy with them. The XM4 got a nerf. The buffer weight stock got a nerf. The GPR got somewhat of a nerf, so it doesn't just jump right back into the meta, although it still could be the meta. The C9 got a buff. The PP, which was considered meta, got nerfed. The Jackal, which was considered meta, got nerfed. Reload speeds adjusted. Movement-related things adjusted. The quality of life was the focus of this, at least first part of Season 2. Maybe mid-season they continue that. Maybe they give us a lot more content in the mid-season. But for how they frame this season, I'm actually super satisfied with a lot of these patch notes. Of course, we'll see how the game actually plays. I'm sure on day one it won't play awesome. And then as we move into the season, things that weren't fixed the way they thought, they'll fix a little bit, especially because they don't have a holiday break like they do in Season 1. And so I'm super excited. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about these patch notes. Are you excited? Are you glad that it looks like the meta is going to shift? How do you feel, or what do you think the meta is going to be, whatever. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you like this type of content and want to see it first. We'll be uploading long-range meta, close-range meta, probably not snipers, they didn't touch snipers, but perks. We might have a video dedicated just to testing out Mountaineer now that it's back, but hit that notification bell if you want to see all of that first. And like I said, I'll link this down below. I'll link the community update in my video about it down below, as well as the content update in my video about that down below. All my social medias are linked down below, and so is my single player channel if you want to check any of those out. But I will see you on Urzikstan, Rebirth Island, and Area 99. Get frying. Have a good day.